So this is going to be an oracle and tarot card reading for Aries. So if you have Aries in a major chart placement, so Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, this reading could be for you. Either way, it is a general collective reading, not a personal, so you need to use your intuition to know if this reading is for you or what parts are for you. Plus, it is also timeless, which means it shouldn't matter when I create this reading or post this reading. What truly matters is when you found it, when it showed up on your homepage. That's when you were supposed to see it. So this is going to be about a situation where you were really arguing with somebody. You guys might have been very competitive together, and I'm not saying competitive like, you know, when I use my tarot cards and we talk about competition, we're talking about other people. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about you guys might, there might be somebody who has to be right all the time, or you both might be like that, who has to get the last word. Somebody might be keeping track, like, you know, well, you did this to me. You probably both do that to each other, where you kind of keep track about who's done more to the other person, you know. I don't know, just a lot of arguing, a lot of this competition. This person was very difficult to be with. They were a very challenging person, lover. This person, well, one of you didn't give the other person any space, any freedom. One person wanted to go out with their friends, spend too much time with their friends, with their homies, it says here. And the other person didn't want to give them that space. And so one of you was very difficult and very argumentative, maybe both of you. We have buying love, manipulates with money, keeps you codependent, materialistic. Okay, so one of you would buy so much for the other person that the other person maybe couldn't leave. So maybe this person took care of you. Maybe you guys lived together and they took care of you and you felt like you couldn't leave because you were dependent on their money. They might have been materialistic. It could be the person who's materialistic could be the person who was being bought. So the other person might be buying the person who's materialistic. There might have been a time period, I don't think this is throughout your whole relationship, but there might have been a time period where the sex got boring, or somebody might have seemed uninterested or not making the effort in sex. Wow. So one person in this relationship might have been checking out other people, just kind of looking at other people, flirting with other people, doing things that were offensive or insensitive. And then the other person was way too jealous and insecure. So you've got one person who wanted to go out with the homies, and that's probably the same person who had this wandering eyes here, who might have been flirty with other people. So then the other person didn't want to give them freedom, was extremely jealous and insecure. This was their trigger. They're highly possessive. They felt threatened easily. We have no sex, little to no sex with boring sex. So like I said, it doesn't necessarily mean your whole entire relationship. It doesn't mean your whole entire relationship had boring sex, but there might have been a period where you guys weren't having sex, or somebody may have seemed uninterested. And that also might have fed the fuel of the person who was really jealous. Because if you're not, you know, if your person's not giving you sex and they're flirting with other people and they're out with their friends and stuff, then that could totally make somebody think that something's up and make them extra. It may seem like they're jealous or insecure, but I think it's just realizing that there might be something going on is very hard to deal with. But then, you know, loving the person that you don't want to break up with them just, you know, just in case. So you guys might have got to a period where you argued a lot. Like I said, maybe you were the one buying their love. Maybe they were materialistic and you give them money and so they'd stick around, or vice versa. So that's what we have so far. We have one of this person's was very immature, very childish, hasn't grown the fuck up. They might have gotten drunk a lot and created a lot of drama. They might have gotten fights. We have domestic violence, purposely physically abuses, or vice versa. Hopefully that's not them physically putting their hands on you, because if that's the case, then I cannot move forward and say you should get back together with this person, even if they change, because that's kind of, I feel like that's a lot of liability to tell somebody to go back to somebody who is violent with them. So if this person was domestically violent with you, I don't care what this reading says. I'll do the reading and I'll tell you what Spirit's saying, but I would not give them another chance unless you're 100% certain somehow, some way they actually did change. And there's no evidence of them being this way. But I feel like because we have immature drunk drama, maybe they were just violent with other people. Maybe they got in fights. So if they were even emotionally abusive to you, physically, maybe we just make sure that if the reading says they're going to change and you guys are going to get back together, we make sure 100%, especially if it was physical. And this might also be, though, maybe it wasn't the man being abusive to the woman. Maybe the woman started slapping at the man. So this could be that. And if that's the case, I mean, domestic violence still isn't okay. But maybe it's not something life-threatening. I don't know. Maybe it was a little slap. I don't know. Not that that's okay either, but I just don't understand. I feel like, is this one of those readings that's going to go where they're going to say the person's going to change and you're going to get back together? Well, I don't feel comfortable saying to go back, even if that's what Spirit's telling me, because this domestic violence card came out. Like, what does that mean? But we do have it with immature and drunk drama. So I feel like maybe they were immature, got drunk a lot, and maybe they went out and started fights. Because this actually says, always starts drama and fights. Always starts drama and fights when drunk, unable to hold it together. So maybe when they were drunk, they got, they would start physical fights with other people, hopefully not you. But either way, that's something that they need to work on. Maybe they had a drinking problem. Maybe they get better. It is possible for people to get better. So I'm not going to say 100% you shouldn't go to them if they change. I mean, if they really honestly change, but the minute you see any kind, like if they were violent with you, the minute you see anything, get out of there. I would not suggest, and if we weren't talking twin flames, I would not suggest anybody be with anybody who has laid a finger on them or who you thought could lay a finger on you, because it only gets worse. It doesn't usually get better. So I'm hoping that here for this situation, that this is domestic violence with somebody else. So they're immature, they get drunk and they start fights like at bars or with their friends or something. They may get in physical fights. So if they're like really young, they might get in fights with their friends. I mean, that happens. It doesn't necessarily make them a terrible person, but if they're getting violent with you, disregard everything in this reading and just maybe don't get back together with them. And if you take it upon yourself to do that, you just make sure that you are not in any physical danger whatsoever. So I just want to be very clear about that. But let's find out what Spirit is trying to say is going to happen with this person. Is this one of those, this turns around? What should the person do that's watching toward, but like I said, maybe it was you. Maybe you slapped at the person and you're not like, and that's domestic violence and that's not okay, but maybe you're not, maybe that person's not in danger of you really seriously hurting them. Although things can get out of hand. So, I mean, intuitively, I'm not feeling like this is them hurting you, because if this is a twin flame reading, I don't think your twin flame would physically hurt you. I don't know for a fact what twin flames do and don't do, but and I do believe that when you have a spiritual awakening, you can definitely change. So this domestic abuse, domestic violence, I'm going to assume that that is not them putting their hands on you, that this is them getting, they're out, they're at a bar, they're mature, and they get drunk, so they maybe start fights with people at the bar or something like that. Or they just start a fight with you. We did have that they were very argumentative and very challenging, very difficult. So they may have started a fight with you. Like I said, the domestic violence, I mean, it could have been that you guys got in a fight and you kind of slapped at them, which is not okay, but maybe it's not like life or death because you wouldn't, you know, hurt them more than a little slap. But even a little slap is not okay because that just escalates things to another level. And it's really not okay for either partner to be abused physically. So I do want to make that clear. Okay. But yeah, I mean, that's long term, but this could be 20 years from now. Long term, I do feel like they could be saying that things are going to turn around. So, I mean, it could just be you having stability on your own. But usually the way I read here, it's more spirits telling me what's going to happen between you and this person. We do have a 5 of Cups. Somebody feeling like everything's over. Somebody being really sad, but not realizing there's still 2 cups standing. There's still something left here. There's also a clock here. So things will change in divine timing. Now, the first part of my reading is long term. So it could be 20 years from now, like I said. It could be 40 years from now, for all I know. I am going to go into the bonus extended reading where we do ask spirits what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year or sooner with regard to the situation. We do have the King of Pentacles, which is something secure. It can also be money. We do have the Hanged Man, which is somebody turning the situation upside down and seeing things in a new perspective, going through a spiritual awakening. We have celebration. There might be a third party involved, but it doesn't have to be. We have the Hierophant. this can be marriage, but I think in this case, it's like we're talking about spiritual knowledge, learning spiritual knowledge. This guy's like the teacher, and he's teaching maybe the twin flames. We do have the Devil, which is the codependency, the addiction, the toxic behavior. So I feel like long term, we're not doing 6 months to a year yet, but long term, I feel like, yeah, one of you is going to be sad, thinking that everything's over because of this toxic energy. There's a little bit of codependency going on here, but there's also, you know, with the one person buying the other person's love, giving the other person money, one person depending on the other for money, or because they're so materialistic, or they're in their ego and materialistic that they care so much about money that they let that control what they put up with. They put up with more than they should because of the money. And that's what that King of Pentacles could be. It could be this person bringing you a lot of money, offering you a lot of money. But I feel like, so it's like, you know, you or this person's very sad, thinking everything's lost because of this toxicity, because of this control. That other person's maybe in their ego. But we have the spiritual awakening. So again, that's somebody seeing things in a new perspective, things changing, learning a lot of spiritual information, a lot about themselves, and then bringing, potentially, they could be bringing you money, but this also could be a secure love offer that's gonna make you celebrate. So I do think things are gonna change. But again, I'm not okay with that domestic violence card. So if they have physically hurt you, I can't tell you to be with them. For liability reasons, I cannot tell you that it's a good idea to open yourself up to this person and go be with them, especially if you have children. But even if you don't have children, if they were physically abusive with you, I don't know if I'm comfortable saying that. I am supposed to be helping twin flames, and if this is a twin flame, I guess my hope would be that that domestic violence card was, again, more about them going to a bar and getting in a fight with other people and not you. You're going to have to evaluate, because this is your situation and I'm just doing a general collective reading, you're going to have to evaluate your own situation and decide if it's safe to give this person another chance. Can they change? I mean, that is what the twin flame storyline says. So, I mean, after everything I've been through with all the way the cards come out and how crazy it gets, I have to believe it. But for liabilities reasons, I'm not comfortable telling somebody to go back to somebody who physically hurt them or has the ability to physically really hurt them. So if you think this is a twin flame situation and you think that they've changed, you better make damn sure before you go back if they've ever laid a hand on you. And I say that with hesitation to even open it up, to even allow you to think it's okay to even give this person another chance. So again, I am not recommending that, but if you choose to, on your own, please be careful. It's probably better safe than sorry. So it's probably better not to just ignore this whole reading. But like I said, maybe that's, I'm feeling like that is this person because it came out with drunk drama, and it says always starts drama and fights when drunk, unable to hold it together. I feel like this person just goes to bars, gets drunk, and maybe gets in fights. And this isn't about them abusing you. Fake flexin', acts rich, flosses money, acts fancy, shows off. So in the next 6 months to a year, oh, you know what? I'm not in the bonus extended yet, so I guess I need to stop pulling. I'm gonna put that one back in. So yeah, so there is a potential here of them coming in with a nice secure offer and something that'll make you celebrate. Like I said, this could be them coming in with money, a money offer. We did say here up there that somebody likes to buy the other person's love. So that's possible because they are still in their ego here. But we also have the Hangman, which is seeing things in a new perspective, an aha moment, and then we have the celebration. So I feel like it could be them literally bringing you an offer, maybe an offer of marriage even. So now we're going to go into the bonus extended reading where we ask spirits, okay, what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year sooner with regard to the situation? So if you want to know more, if you feel like this is your situation, let me know down in the comment section, but also go down below, click the link that takes you to my Patreon. You can sign up instantly and get the rest of this reading where we do ask spirits what is going to happen with regard to this situation in the next 6 months to a year sooner. Is this one of those they change, happy ever after situations, even though there was a lot of drama here and a lot of bullshit? Are they gonna grow up and change and become a different person, become a better person because of this journey? Let's find out now. Before I go, be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you want a personal reading from me, you can get it on my website. The link is down below in the description box, www.bossasswitch1111.com. Okay, let's go to the bonus extended right now.